For today's video, we are going to be upgrading our E90 interior again. And this time it's going to be actually our head unit. So our car does not come with iDrive, and we're going to be actually adding Apple CarPlay to it with this Eonon Q65 Pro head unit. It runs Android 10, so you can actually run any Android app inside your E90 interior. It has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. I think there's also a way to hook up cameras to it. We're not going to be doing that today, but if you want like backup cameras, you can actually do that with this. This can do a lot of different things. I have a link in the description if you do want to buy it, but it's going to be getting installed right here, and it's a pretty big display. But yeah, it's actually pretty easy to install. No crazy wiring, no splicing wires or nothing like that. It is a plug and play system. So this should be pretty easy, and let's go ahead and jump right into this install. So first we want to get a pry tool right here and actually pry out the bottom part of the head unit where the HVAC controls are. Be very careful, but if you just slowly pull it on the side right here, you can actually get the whole thing out. And with a little bit more force here and using the bigger pry tool, we actually got the side part out. You want to go ahead and carefully pull this out. There are two wires that should be plugged in the back right here. For the two connectors in the back, it's the usual system BMW uses for most of their connectors, where you just push down in the center and then pull this gray part over. I know it looks a little weird, but that's because I'm doing it with one hand. But there we go, one out, same here. Push down on this little center tab right here. With the HVAC controls out the way, you have 4 screws to remove. You have 2 Phillips head screws at the top right here. You pretty much never see those. And then you have 2 T20 screws right here at the bottom. With the 4 screws now out, we can actually pull out that proper head unit. Now be careful again, there are gonna be a couple wires in the back, and all of these do need to be removed. Now, because it's almost impossible for me to show you how to actually remove each of these individual wires with the head unit in, I'm gonna try to show you with it actually being out. For this big one, all you do is pull this lever off. Right here at the top, you just pull this lever, pull it down like this, and then push this out. That's how that comes out. And then these right here, get that to focus real quick, they have an actual tiny little piece right here. You just push this down and pull out this tiny little part right here at the top. With the head unit fully out, you do have 2 more T20 screws on both sides right here. Lastly, coming onto the inside, you have 2 10 mils right here on the bottom. With those 2 screws removed, make sure you have all the wires out the way, and then this whole entire bracket should come right out. There we go. Now I would hold on to this bracket just in case you do actually plan on, ever putting back in your old head unit, whether you plan on selling the car, getting a new car, or something actually happens with the head unit. Before we actually finish up the wire, we're gonna work on installing this bracket for the HVAC unit. And the first thing we're gonna actually do is trim off these black pieces right here. This bottom part, this bottom line, you want to trim this off of both sides. You can use a Dremel. I've seen some people use pliers, whatever you got, but this black piece needs to come off. It's going to help with the fitment when it comes to actually installing it here at the bottom. And I went ahead and removed that black plastic piece that actually went around the whole entire HVAC unit. I mean the HVAC controls, because it does come with its own trim right here that you are going to also install once you do remove these black pieces. Now with both sides fully shaved off, I didn't really do the best job of it, but they're shaved off. Now we can actually go ahead and install this bracket. Now when it comes to the actual wiring for this whole entire head unit, this was the part I was actually worried the most about. I'm not that good with wires. There's no splice or anything like that, but I just saw all these wires and I was just like, oh gosh, that's gonna be a pain. However, it actually comes with an extremely good diagram that shows you everything to do with the 2 wiring harnesses you have. And also, every single thing is labeled, but I'm gonna try to give you a quick overview of what exactly I did here. So first off, you have Apple CarPlay right here. This wire is for wired Apple CarPlay. This second wire right here on the left is actually for your just your regular USB input, whether you want to put in a flash drive or anything like that to put stuff actually on here. You also have the bracket installed at the bottom right here. You take these 2 plastic bits, you install that and push the bracket down, and there's 4 screws underneath it. Now when it comes to the 2 wiring harness, I'm gonna refer to this one as the bigger one and this one as the smaller one. So you want to go ahead and connect your left and right audio, connect these 2 harnesses together. Again, everything is labeled. You have your microphone on the smaller harness. There's a little spot right here you can go ahead and plug in your microphone. You also have this CAN BIS decoder box. You want to go ahead and plug that into the bigger harness, and then also plug in the speaker also into the bigger harness right here. Again, it's labeled speaker. So yeah, everything is pretty much self-explanatory, but that's pretty much everything I did. And of course the antenna wiring right here. But yeah, almost every single thing on here is pretty much labeled very well and self-explanatory. But once you have everything connected, of course not everything's gonna have a spot for it to go, but you can go ahead and plug this into your head unit. And if you have an antenna, go ahead, which you should, plug in the antenna also in, and then we can go ahead and test to make sure this works. Once you have everything fully wired up, you don't want to actually install it just yet. I would go ahead and put your car into accessory mode. Just press the power button with your keys in and make sure everything works. And as you can see, we got Apple CarPlay working here perfectly fine. Everything's working good. It is amazing. I'm surprised it's working so well, but yes, everything is working. I haven't set up anything yet. The only thing I did was Apple CarPlay. I'm not even still that sure how to use it. There we go. But yeah, everything is working. Now let's go ahead and actually put this thing properly in. So now we're gonna go ahead and push this in like this. Make sure you have the bracket kind of set in at the bottom like this. It would actually kind of stay in place a little bit. But then you see, if you see these two holes right here, you're gonna go ahead and put those two long screws and screw those in. Once those two screws are in, make sure you have your fitment perfect. And then we're gonna actually reuse these T20 screws right here at the bottom for these two holes right here to screw in the bracket securely. Next, we're gonna actually put in the HVAC controls. Now, they do come with these two brackets that are actually supposed to screw into the bigger bracket right here. However, I don't know if I'm unlucky or what, but these brackets do not work for mine at all. It's not even the brackets going onto the HVAC unit itself. It's actually the screw holes. They're just too big for any of the screws they gave me. I literally played around with it for like a whole hour, and I checked the manual. There's no extra screws at all that was supposed to come with it. So the screws that were made for this don't fit mine, but I mean, for the price, I'm not even surprised. I actually expected a lot worse from this overall. But for the HVAC, you just put in these two little wires right here, fasten it in, snap this down. And then if you have the same bracket issue as mine, I've realized you can actually just squeeze this in just like this. If you just push it in, it would actually stay in very securely. It's actually a tight fit for a lot of this stuff, which is actually a really good thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and put these in and then push this into place. Last but not least, you do have these two little hole covers for the screws right here. They just snap right in, makes it look a little bit better. There we go. And there's a second one for the other side right here. And then you go ahead and peel the screen protector off, and there you go. All right, guys, so I've had this head unit for about a couple weeks now, and I have to say, it is amazing. I haven't tested out the Android Auto. I've been mainly using the Apple CarPlay. I've messed with the sound system. This is an amazing, really good head unit. Everything works pretty smooth. Like, it's better than a lot of cars I've seen. It's not crazy fast. They didn't put a really good processor in here, but yeah, everything runs really smoothly, really well. The menus work good, the sound. When you first start the car, it does take a couple minutes to, not a couple minutes, about 30 seconds to actually connect. That's just the first time you start in the car after a while. After that, it starts up pretty much instantaneously. So for example, if I turn the car off right now, but the car turned completely off. And if I turn it on, don't have to press anything, I'm using wireless. Give it a couple seconds. It's already on. Press this, just like that. Sometimes it will automatically open up if it is completely off, but yeah, it starts up pretty quickly. Everything works really well. All the apps work well. I am amazed on how well this is. This is truly a game changer for your interior. It just makes the car feel so much more modern. I've really been trying to change the interior on this car. You know, I have custom gauges. I made a video on that if you guys do want to see, with my YouTube name on there. I do have a custom steering wheel as well with lights. Wouldn't rev it too high, it's a little cold. But yeah, just slowly transforming this interior. I was worried putting a big screen in here if it's gonna mess up the whole flow of the interior. I really do like the E90X generations of interior. I like it even more than the F generation. And and I don't want the screen to make it look too much out of place. And I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look perfectly in place in this interior. It is pretty big, but it looks good. When people come into this car and they see this screen, and this is an excellent quality screen. I think the glass is laminated to the panel, I think, but yeah, it looks like an IPS display. It looks really good, really nice pixels underneath. The colors are also really well, and it does do really good during the daytime. You can see well, and at nighttime you can turn the brightness down, but it's not too crazy bright. I won't lie, in certain situations where the sun is shining directly at you, the reflection of like somebody sitting can make it really hard to see sometimes. Just honestly, the reflections can be a little bad, but that's with a lot of cars, just because the fact that it's at a 90-degree angle. If you notice it with a lot of cars, they actually have the glass tilted for that exact reason. But besides that part, this is amazing. It's been functioning extremely well. It turns on very quickly, as I guys showed you before. This thing turns on pretty much instantaneously. And of course, from 100% stop, like after a couple laps, if we start it up, it does have to reboot the whole system. And again, that only takes about 30 seconds before your music actually starts playing and everything is ready to go. I do have some apps down. I think I don't have a connection right now, but I did download like, I think I have like Netflix on here too. So if you want to watch Netflix, that stuff works real. I can't lie, the system is a little bit slower when it comes to actually going through apps. I mean, good luck playing a game on here or anything, but it's not bad for what it is. For the price I paid, this is really good. $270 for this. This is extremely good. I was worried about the sound system with the preamp. It sounds perfectly fine. And you can also, actually has tons of different settings. Oops, don't start that up. One second. Yeah, you can mess with the EQ, everything, change the zones, do whatever you want to it. It's a really robust system. I've been enjoying it ever since. Let me know if you guys do want to see a long-term review on it, even though I have had it for literally a couple weeks now. It's pretty much a good review. This is amazing, but let me know what you guys think about this. I have the link in the description if you do want to buy it. And let me know if you want to see more videos like this with Apple CarPlay. And if you have any questions about installing this or anything, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll try to get back to you. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you really care, hit that beautiful subscribe button. Peace, guys.